Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you What If Naruto Got His Memory Sailed Away, Part 24. Remember to get this one to 200 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance and enjoy that guys. And he also posted What If Naruto learn the clone's secret in the beginning, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So without further ado, this will begin this new episode. Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, the group was on the mission as Koyuki was filming. It was then the entire glacier started to shake as Naruto went out there. The man that he fought 10 years ago, Nadiri, and all of his other men were there, as Tenten and Sai took them on, while Sakura protect Koyuki. Nadiri thought that he stood a chance against Naruto now, not knowing the harsh training that Naruto went through, and how strong Naruto has gotten, as he fired off a massive Dragon Tiger Mix Ice technique. But Naruto smashed past that and fired off a wind attack that smashed into the man that sent him sailing over the geyser. As some time passed, as the group was about to film again, as they talk about Dodo, as Sandia told them that he wanted Koike to come back to his country and rule as princess that she is. But she was against that, so she ran away again. As Sai gave Naruto the information as Naruto went to look after her. He caught her as she was lying in the snow, unable to run anymore. He simply picked her up and started to drag her back. Cause she told him what's the point. They're gonna fail anyway and Dodo's gonna kill them. As they went through a small cave, but then Naruto realized something was coming. It was a train. As they started to run, she really thought that Naruto wasn't fast enough to outrun a train, but he showed her otherwise by running like that. As they came out, as Koyuki was captured, as the real Naruto was gone, as he sneaked on that airship. Despite being well known for their technology and their weapons, they weren't really good at censoring, as Koyuki was in the prison. As Naruto came to rescue her, writing a seal on the lock that shocked him, and freed her as he started to run with her. She was then captured once more by Dodo again, as she gave him the crystal. But it was all a ploy, as she stabbed him. But it didn't break his chakra armor, as he took her away. Nadiri then attacked Naruto, and the others would attack as well. As the snow ninjas realized how far they outclassed they were. As Naruto bring down Nadiri rather quickly as he went after Dodo. Koyuki was there as Dodo was pissed. Where is the treasure? The thing was just a damn heat generator as heat started came all over. As Naruto arrived there, as Dodo fired off two massive dark dragons after Naruto. A single hand sign created a massive gust of wind that smashed into Dodo. The man was shocked and stunned when Naruto flashed in front of man's drive a Rasengan rainbow right into his armor, breaking right through it, and he was sent sailing over the chasm, smashing into a large ice mountain as he collapsed down. We then had a time skip as Naruto was coming back for a mission with Hinata, Shino, and Kiba, as it was another successful mission with him being the leader. Kiba was kind of pissed because nothing exciting happened, and whenever he heard Naruto go on a mission, something ever happened, something ever changed, but nothing happened on this mission. As Naruto went to report it to Tsunade, as she finally let him off of probation, he was now fully a Jonin, as she told him that a S-rank mission is coming up for him soon, but it's gonna be dangerous. But he simply smiled. He was used to danger by now, wasn't he? As he jumped through the window, leaving. So yeah guys, it was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the list and check of yourself, so this will be his new episode. Naruto reached home after jumping through Tsunade's window. As he found Hamako lying down on the ground, he tried to sneak to his room. "I know you're there, master," she said. "I felt the security seals go off when you opened the door." Naruto walked over to her. "Been busy?" he asked. Hamako stood up as she went over and sat down right in his lap as she kissed him happily. "Welcome home, Naruto-sama," she said, as she then looked at the floor as she blushed at all the mess. "Oh yes, I've been studying Uncle-san's seal," she said. "And," said Naruto, as he was curious. Hamako was taking over studying the seal, seeing that she was far better at phone jutsu than him. Hamako looked away. "I have hit a brick wall in getting it off of her. It's not that I don't understand what it entails and what it do, and I'm positive I can get it off of her. I'm sensing a butt somewhere," said Naruto. "Yes, I need certain things to get it off of her," said Hamako with a frown. Apparently, Orochimaru ingredient some of his herb being into the seal and the enzymes of someone else too. "Without the DNA of both of them, I cannot break the seal without hurting her mind. Orochimaru is a true villain. He won't even bother in taking off of her the way he did with Teiwaya-san, because he still sees use keeping it on her, unlike Teiwaya." As Naruto frowned, "I'm guessing you weren't able to get any of Orochimaru's DNA from the hospital or Bachan or anything like that, right?" "No such luck, Naruto-sama," she said as she rested her head on his shoulder. "I am sorry. I haven't told Uncle that I have failed yet." "Good," said Naruto, "because you haven't failed. You know what to do, you just don't have everything that you need to do it. That is what I'm for. I don't know how, but I'll end up getting Orochimaru and our mystery jerk DNA for you to finish. I already promised Uncle I would anyway." "You're going to ask for permission to hunt Orochimaru?" Hamako asks. "Well, I'll have to build up some credibility to ask for a mission like that. Maybe after my next one I'll build up enough. It's supposed to be S rank at least." He felt Hamako stiffen in his grasp. "What's the matter?" he asked. "You're going to be gone again. I know you're important to the village and everything, always working." "I miss you," she said. "You know all of my friends and they like you too," Naruto said, trying to reason. "I can't take you with me. You know I can't." "I know, and I love that you keep correspondence between us through our tattoo. But your friends, they aren't you. And I don't really fit in with them. They're all ninja except for the Ichiraka family, and I'm not. Just because sometimes I teach seals at the academy, it doesn't really mean much." "Well," said Naruto, "I have time to rest up a bit. So you and I are going to bed, because it's clear from the notes and the bags under your eyes. You want to sleep. And then tomorrow will be all about you, okay? Whatever you want to do, you can do. And it's about time we look for a new place, right?" "I would like that very much, Naruto-sama," she said, as he got up and picked her up, as he started to walk off with her. As he walked past her room into his. "What are you doing, Naruto-sama?" she asked curiously. "You said you missed me, didn't you? So why would I make you sleep in your own room tonight? Or do you mind?" he asked, as he started to take off his shirt as he brought over his head. The moment he took it off, he saw that Hamako had already shed her clothes and was under his bed covers waiting. "Master," she said softly in a seducing voice, "come here and keep your servant company." As Naruto went over into the bed, "You haven't done this in a while and you still don't wear anything when you sleep," he said. "I already told you I have no issues of you taking advantage of my body if you wish. You have no issue, or you would love it if I did." Hamako smiled, a combination of the two if I were to be honest with you. As Naruto started to rub her sides. "Well, I did say that I would do anything that you wanted tomorrow. I guess I can start it a little earlier," he said. As Hamako's eyes lit up, as he leaned down and kissed her. As he then started to nibble down on her neck. "This is all for you," he said. "So tell me, what exactly do you want?" "Anything," he said. She mumbled something, but he did not hear. "What was that?" "I want you to make love to me," she said. "Not have sex, make love. I want my first time to be extremely special, and with you," she said. "I'll make it as special as I can for you," said Naruto. Time skip. 4 days later. 11 a.m. "Master, come on, you need to wake up." "Naruto-sama, get up," said Hamako. Naruto slowly opened his eyes to see a mop of hair on his chest, and his own body sprawled out on his couch. "What the?" As Naruto looked around to see a few bottles of steak on the ground. "What happened?" he said, as he saw Hamako at the door, the apartment. "Hamako?" He then looked down. "Teiwaya-chan." Teiwaya slowly opened her eyes. "Uzumaki," she said. "What the hell happened last night?" Hamako walked over to the both of them who were still wearing clothes, much Naruto's surprise, because he could feel the effects of a hangover. "You, Naruto-sama and all of Naruto-sama's friends went to a bar last night to celebrate his probation being done. and is fully Jonin status. Oh yeah, said Teoya. As she looked at Himako, you didn't go. I don't really like drinking, said Himako. I was scared off of it when I saw a few people mix alcohol with Fuinjutsu. As she shivered, remembering terror. That is why I locked up everything, all the notes. It seems like the wisest effect last night. As Naruto remembered, it was him, Teoya, Sai, all of the rookies, and Guy's team, and a lot of alcohol. Even Sakura got drunk, who was against it in the first place. Yeah, she loosened right up once she got a few in her. Yeah, and even Rock Lee. But they had to tie him up. Well, everyone had to hold him down and tie the hell out of him. Because he went crazy, hitting down everything. And he still destroyed half of the bar itself with only use of his head. Before he finally blacked out to the much of everyone's relief. Lee was a rather mean drunk. But Sai, he could really hold his liquor. He drank and drank. But going home, he didn't even have a waver in his step. As Teo remembers something, you made out with the girl with the buns near here last night. As Naruto remember, yeah, he did make out with Tenten. A lot. You say that like it's a bad thing. Oh, and I also made out with you as well. All the way back here apparently. Yes, you did, Naruto-sama, and you probably would have done more if Teiwaya hadn't passed out on top of you. As she placed down 2 glass and started to look for some medicine in the cabinets. You lightweight, said Naruto, you passed out first. I'm still the reigning champ. As he looked at himself, he was extremely dirty and disheveled. I don't know why I look like this though. Were you that rough with me, he asked. Teiwaya ignored that. We all don't have demons inside of us that help us deal with our alcohol. If you hadn't had that, I would have beat your ass, she said. As she then went back to clutching her head. God, I feel like that fat ass Drobo danced on my head. Himako placed a glass of some orange substance in front of her face. This should help. As Teiwaya took it and Naruto took his, as the both of them drank it, and shivered for a second. Naruto-sama, there's a message from Hokage for you to show up immediately for a mission. So today's final day, Naruto said, as he moved Teiwaya off of him. I need to watch up first. I smell like a complete drunk right now. I'm taking a shower before I go. Bachan would be pissed even if I did show up on time because I would smell like booze. So I'm gonna be in trouble anyway, so I better smell fresh doing it. And make this headache go away. Kyube, you need to earn your rent, Naruto said. Screw you, I'm not your cure. You are today, Naruto said as he entered the bathroom and flipped the lights on. Oh yeah, I have a mission today as well, said Teiwaya. As she got up, I would take a shower with Uzumaki, but that would just make us later. See you later, Himako. See you later, Teiwaya-chan, said Himako. As Teiwaya left. Master, let me help you. You will just take long otherwise, said Himako as she went into the bathroom. 2 hours later, Naruto stepped in the office only to duck as a paperweight nearly hit him right in the head. Brat, you better have a good reason for being so late. Well, I could tell you the reason and you can get more pissed off at me. Or I could say I'm sorry and it would never happen again and we can just drop it. He didn't feel like telling Snan that a shower. I turned in with having sex with Himako for over an hour and forced him to take another shower, lest he smell like Himako once he got there. Fine, we're just waiting on someone else and you can be debriefed on what you're doing. You're to work under this person under this assignment. Naruto was confused. He was a Jonin, but yet he was supposed to work under this person, not with this person. A moment later, Jiraiya jumped through the window with a grin. Snadeheim, you left the window open for me this time. I knew that you cared about me, he said. Just get on with it and tell the brat what you two are doing. Jiraiya got completely serious. I have found the base of operations for Akatsuki. As Naruto and Tsunade were shocked by that. But then Tsunade spoke, that's great. But then she thought about it. Hey, no, this is too dangerous. The both of you cannot go alone, she said. Let me send someone else. Can't do that, Haim. Nothing spoils quicker than information. And you better be sure that we only have a limited window. Besides, the only people you have good enough in Konoha to get in are me and the kid. You know what I can do, and the brat has repeatedly proven that he can do it by sacking Orochimaru bases over and over. Since he was 8, I should add. You still screw me over in that one, said Naruto, who blows up an entire section of the base in a reconnaissance mission. Get over it, kid. Things are on the up and up, aren't they? No, Naruto said. You never explained to me why you blew up the base. I need an explanation. Well, said Jiraiya at the back of his head. I want to leave with a bang. Naruto's sweat dropped. The entire point is to make sure no one knows that you're there, stupid. Sometime, I just forget that you're a Sanin. Tell how stupid you are. Jiraiya punched Naruto over the head. Oi, I'll break my foot in your ass, Erosangin, said Naruto. Just come and try, kid, said Jiraiya. You're still 10 years too young to be in my league. You want to test that out? You feeling froggy, Erasenin? I summoned Toads, you idiot. Are you sure you have the brain power to be a Jonin? You seem to be back to your stupid 12-year-old self. Both of them were sent sparred into the ground and Tsunade punched them in their face. Can the both of you shut up and be serious, she said. Naruto pulled himself up. Ow, damn Bachan. But Erasenin is right. We can handle this, and besides, who else you can send to look for and could actually handle this base? I really don't like this, you two. It's a bit too close to the hornet's nest, don't you think, said Tsunade. Well, it's no different than running around Orochimaru with his cronies. But this time I have more room to move around, and I don't think that we're going to be there for half a year this time. He's right, Haim, it will be a quick in and out to confirm things. Like the leader of the entire organization. Apparently, the man's name is Pain, and the entire village see him as a god of some sorts. Sounds like another case of that S-rank arrogance again. Quiet, Naruto, said Jiraiya. But yes, Tsunade, we'll be there for a moment to confirm this and that. Or to see if they bulk their rankings, seeing that super kid here keep on taking them out one by one. Hey, what about Hidan's head? You have that for a good month now. Haven't you gotten anything out of him yet? He's unbreakable. Even Inoichi can't get too far to get anything out of him about the group. And since his body is gone, we can't really do anything to persuade him that way. Damn it, I thought I had something this time, said Naruto. Well, that's what we're leaving for, kid. Rest assured, we're coming back with something big. Count on it. Just be careful, you two. Don't get yourself killed out there. I need the both of you here, said Tsunade. Come on, Bachan, Naruto says. He pulled out her necklace. I'll keep Erasenin here out of trouble. And besides, I can't die yet. I have to prove that this necklace doesn't have a curse after all. Don't worry, Haim, said Jiraiya as he placed her in a headlock. I'll keep the kid from biting off more than he can chew. We'll be back before you know it, driving you crazy in no time. Very well, said Tsunade as she gave him a smile. Naruto Uzumaki, Jiraiya. Do you two accept the S-rank mission of reconnaissance to the Hidden Rain? Of course, Jiraiya said. I suggested it after all. You got it. I'm at your command, Bachan, you know that. Then proceed with caution. I want the both of you coming back from this one, or else I'll drag you both from hell and kill you myself, she said. The both of them smiled at her before jumping through the window and waving off. Please, come back, she said. Time skip, Himako entered the Hokage's office with a stack of paper in her arms. Hello, Shizune-san. I have an appointment with Hokage-sama this morning. It's nice, said Shizune with a smile, that you actually make appointments instead of just dropping in like what Naruto does. How he never drops in when she's busy, I'll never know. Naruto-sama is good like that. He doesn't like to be formal outside of missions though. May I enter? Yes, you can, go right ahead. As Himako nodded and went inside. Hello, Himako, said Tsunade as Himako entered. What can I do for you today? Oh, I came here because I want to surprise Naruto-sama when you get back. Surprise him? How? Well, Naruto doesn't really like surprises, seeing that most of them try to kill him. As Tsunade looked at the stack of paper that Himako placed on her desk. I can assume that you just came back from the bank this morning. Yes, I did, Himako said, and he will like the surprise. Master has a lot excess of money, thanks to his capture of sorcery, and his frequent, high-rank missions, and he doesn't have to support me due to my work at the academy. He has a lot of money and I suggest a move from his apartment to an actual home. I've been dealing this for almost a year now, on and off. Oh, so I assume you're here because you decided on something that he might like, and you're relaying me this because he's my shinobi. Yes, it should be something nice for Master to come home to after this mission is currently on. Would you like to visit the one that I have chosen after it's made official today, Hokage-sama? Certainly, said Tsunade. You should come back around 6 in the evening. I'm sure that you will love it. Meanwhile, with Naruto, at the Hidden Rain, Naruto sat quietly in a passenger boat, other than the man running the boat and the other 5 passengers aboard. Naruto had one thought in his mind: I hate the rain, I hate the rain, I hate the rain, I hate the rain. Can you please shut the hell up? And if you don't, I will start singing again, said the Kyuubi. The place was surrounded by water, the rainfall that took place in the village every single day. Just outside of that area was all the smaller villages. As Naruto boarded a boat to come into the hidden village itself, the boat ride had lasted for an hour with no canopy over the top. Thus, the only thing keeping him from the rain was a cloak over his head that he was using to obscure his features, and it was cold as well. Sorry, Kyuubi, but rain is the worst thing, and it's cold as hell as well, making it even worse. Maybe I should have tried to take the other way in. I hate the rain, I hate the rain, I hate the rain, I hate— Oh, sorry, Naruto said. Forget about the weather. You'll be living in until we're done here. You remember what to do, don't you? Of course I know, Naruto said. My part of sneaking in was all my part anyway. It's totally foolproof. And once I get in, Eroseni will find me. I have no idea how he's going to do that. But once we get in, we'll just have to wait and see. The Kyuubi then laughed, surprising Naruto and confusing him as well. What's funny? Nothing's funny about this. You do remember what Danzo told you about basic infiltration in all of the noteworthy villages, don't you? Of course I do, said Naruto. You don't forget stuff like that. The Kyuubi started to laugh again. Then you'd remember that the Hidden Ring has a policy. They security checks and surveillance to all visitors. So I can deal with civilians. That's rookie stuff, Naruto said. I don't have any weapons on me anyway. Who cares if they have security checks? There is nothing on me that could give me away. Okay then, Kyuubi said with a chuckle. I suppose you're right. Those series of cavity search is no problem for a tough guy like you. The Kyuubi could feel Naruto simply lock up after that statement, as he just laughed even more. I hate you so much, said Naruto. Time skip. Somewhere inside the Hidden Ring, we have one of the tallest towers that went straight up. As a pair of purple patterned eyes opened in the darkness of the room. Konan. The voice of pain called out. There are intruders in aim. Please locate and identify one of them for me. He's around the western quadrant. If he is who I suspect it to be, you know what to do. As you wish, Pain-sama, said Konan, as she walked out towards a ledge. As wings sprouted from her back as she flew off. As Pain closed his eyes. I hope you enjoy your return to the Hidden Ring, Sensei. Thank you for bringing me the Kyuubi Jinjulke. And I hope you will be at peace as you stare at the god that brings you your death. With Naruto, he had lived through all the cavity searches. There had been one when the boat docked, and another one, and another one, and another one right outside the gate before they could actually get to town itself. After dealing with that, he decided to go and walk about until Jiraiya found him somehow. He had nothing on him, no weapons, nothing. It was rather hard keeping his cool, even though he didn't have his weapons around him, as he looked at all the rain ninjas. But once he got out to the streets, he felt much calmer. The place was a very industrialized village, more so than Konoha. There were elevators, tall buildings, cable cars. Most of them had some things that would sprinkle senbon. It was like an umbrella. Original. And there were oxygen and face masks that would allow them to breathe underwater. The village itself was huge. And there was a lot of skyscrapers. As Naruto wondered where the hell Jiraiya was, he had left him to infiltrate the Hidden Ring on his own, since both of them would look too risky. As Naruto remembered what Jiraiya said, flashback a day ago, Jiraiya looked at Naruto as both of them went through the rain. You're very strong, Naruto. I am very proud of you and I want you to know that. As Naruto looked at Jiraiya, don't say stuff like that, Ursanin. You know it's very bad luck to say that crap before we do things like this. Say that when after we leave this country and get somewhere else safe. Jiraiya shook his head. No, I'm saying this now. You're one hell of a ninja, kid. You're going to be a great Hokage when Tsunade decides to cough over the hat. Root trained or not, I know so. And I've said a million times that I'm truly sorry about seeing you off when you were younger. As Naruto saw the same certainty in the man's eyes, it's alright. I forgave you a long time ago. What's wrong with you? Just thinking back to some old pupils, kid, Jiraiya said. Oh, and also, I got something I need to teach you once this mission is over. Something that I am excited about. We will talk about it once we get out of this, alright? Naruto shrugged off Jiraiya's previous attitude and grin of his own. No, that's more like it. End of the flashback. I saw the angel today, a nearby man said as Naruto took refugees from the rain. I still can't believe that someone was able to take down Hanzo, but I guess he's God after all. Naruto frowned under his face mask. A god they call him. S-rank superiority complex. I don't want to meet this guy yet. Now where do I go and wait for Ursanin? The bar? No, that's too obvious, he said, as he started to walk around the village again. As he thought things out and took in the conversation of the people around him. All the people were talking about was the guy they call God, and the person they referred to as his angel. The more he heard, the less he liked, and the sooner he wanted to leave. But he had just gotten there, they haven't even got to the crux of the mission yet, and he had to find Jiraiya. He was completely without any single weapon. Yeah, he felt kind of vulnerable. The people believed that this Pain guy kept the village safe and that he was a god amongst men, and if they believed that, there had to be some truth in it. But if this man can beat Hanzo and lead the group of S-rank criminals, he must have power to back it up. It was alright though. Just simply, don't get caught. Be cool. Simple. As Naruto was sick of wandering around as he looked, as he saw a sight. A small building that he knew wasn't a regular part of the Hidden Ring, no matter how it looked like it belonged there. With drinks out front. What kept Naruto from going in? It's because he knew what exactly this was. and seeing that he was the only person out here on the street right now. It was then that the building turned into a small toad. Smooth, Eric. I'm going to assume that you just caught someone in there. Jiraiya appeared at Naruto's side. You know it, kid. How did you like the cavity searches? He asked, the amused look on his face. The only thing you could see was Naruto's eyes because Naruto was wearing a mask. I hate you so much right now. The only thing stopping me from kicking you in the balls right now is because I still need you. Don't give me that, little Jiraiya said, as he held up a scroll. Here, I brought you your goodies. As Naruto quickly took it. Felt naked without them, did you? You have no idea. Alright, go straight on your captures. I'm going to change it to something better. It's not like if I do my job right, I'm going to be seen again, so it doesn't matter. A few hours later, Naruto was waiting for Jiraiya to finish interrogating the man, as he was in the same clothes that he was wearing in the land of snow. But he still had the hood on, due to the weather. Jiraiya then came back, as he had a grim look on his face, as he shared the information to Naruto, how this pain character killed Hanzo in battle, how he eradicated anyone loyal to Hanzo, any of Hanzo's family, any relative, anyone. So what do you do, the guy Naruto asks. I sent him back to Konoha. Hopefully they can work something more out of him. Jiraiya was good, but he was not good at interrogation. So it was better they sent him somewhere where they could pull the information from him. So what's the plan now, Naruto asks. Where do we go? Jiraiya pointed up at a skyscraper. I need you to go at area of interest. Do what you need to do. Find me anywhere that could have anything that we need, Naruto. Send me periodic reports on your progress. Don't be afraid to send a toad. With all of this water, it should be easy enough for them to stay discreet. I'll be keeping my feet to the pavement for now. Naruto nodded before vanishing as Shin. Good luck, kid, said Jiraiya, as he went off on his own to dig up his own dirt. A few hours later, Naruto found some stockpiles of weapons. So who was masked in weapon? Why would they go to war with someone? As he wondered what was going on. It had been a few hours, so he decided to check on his sensei, as Naruto was on top of a skyscraper. As he was about to bite his finger, but he stopped. He saw a figure in the sky. Damn it, the person saw him. But if he could take this person out, he could just continue doing what he was doing. Them not raising the alarm was the last mistake they will ever make. As Naruto stood up as the breeze blew the hood off his head, showing his blonde hair. As he pulled his face mask down, showing his whiskered cheeks. A series of projectiles came down at Naruto. Naruto had to say that he was jealous. He'd mastered this element, but he still couldn't fly. But he had to quickly dodge before it was hit, as one of the things stuck itself to the roof. It was a sheet of paper? As he touched the edge of it, it was razor sharp. That would have seriously injured him if that hit him. As he turned to see another wave of paper shurikens coming down towards him, as he pulled his blade and started to slice through them. A long-range fighter like Deidara. But he would be damned if he let himself get picked apart like the last time. As he created clones, 10 copies that were given order to cover him while he closed in on his enemy. As he ran to the edge and jumped off, wing style, wing burst. The air bubble under his feet burst as he was pushing towards his opponent. As he swung at his enemy but he missed and stick to the other side of a building. From his up-close attack, he saw that he was fighting a woman in the Akatsuki robe. Yeah, he was in for it now, as he flew past him firing paper shurikens at him even more. As his clones started to bombard her with weapons from the rooftop. As she dived and navigated her way through the attack with her paper wings. How she was able to use paper in the rain, he had no clue, as Naruto pushed himself off the wall to carry himself back to the roof where his clones were. As he went through hand sign, lightning release, lightning shuriken, all of the weapons that the clone threw that was in the air started raining down lightning. As she started to dodge, drawl, said Naruto, all of the clones pulled out a Fuma shuriken, aim, fire! As the woman was still dodging the lightning. As Naruto went through hand sign, shuriken shotgun technique. As a large wall of shurikens came towards her. As he watched as the woman got shredded into pieces. But then he got the image of his clones behind him getting cut down in his mind. As he tilted his head as more deadly paper passed him, one of them nearly slicing his cheek. As he flipped away, as he spun around his sword to see the woman standing there. You know, I thought that I put you down the last one, but that was a clone the entire time, wasn't it? He asked. You're correct, she said. I can assure you that the general, article, will not be easy to defeat, Kyuubi Jinjulki, she said. You know that I have a name, lady, and I know that you know it. I'm not going to ask you to leave me alone or to surrender because I know you won't. All I'm going to say is, be ready. I have a name too, Naruto Uzumaki. It is Konan. And I never underestimate my enemies. Doing so to you will make me an utter fool. As she extended her hand and a sword of paper formed from her sleeve. Before she dashed forward, Naruto blocked it and swung at her, but she dodged as she fired off paper shuriken at him. As he cut through all the ones that were dangerous to him. leaving the rest to tear right through his cloak, exposing him to the elements fully. He ripped off the rest of the cloak and threw it at Konan. She teared through them with her paper. As Naruto came beside her and slashed at her, he cut through a wall of paper that she put up. As he saw she create a paper airplane to take off, Naruto grabbed onto the back of the airplane as she took off with it, bringing him along with her flight. They instantly start to fall because of Naruto's added weight. She tried to pull up but it was too heavy. Wind release, Gale Palm. As Naruto burst a wind release to turn the plane upright. As Naruto jumped up on the paper plane but he had to duck a swipe as he punched at her but she burst in papers as she appeared behind him. Naruto rolled off the side and flipped her on the other side. He kicked at her but she blocked. I thought you guys weren't supposed to kill me, he asked. Don't be foolish, you know that you can survive that with little problems. I won't kill you, but when I'm done you wish you were. You will feel pain before your life ends, that I can promise you. Honey, until you've been tied to a chair at the age of 6 and been emotionally conditioned in Root, you don't know what pain is. Konan's eyes hardened at the sound of Root, hearing that name. You will survive this, she said, as a paper plane that he was on burst and formed wings on her back as Naruto started to fall. Holy shit, you crazy bitch, he shouted. If I live through this in one piece, I swear to God you're gonna pay. As the building finally got in his way, damn it, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Damn it, said Naruto. Rasengan, as he made a two-handed Rasengan and smashed right through the building. Konan slowed down as she saw Naruto lying there. You are not defeated yet. Do not insult me, she said. Boom. Naruto exploded as Konan had to fly up. As she was flying up, Naruto burst through a window, a Rasengan in his hand as his chakra cloak was around him, one tail as he smashed it into her wing. As the both of them started to fall as he grabbed onto her, as he lashed onto her with his one tail. As the both of them went down to a water canal, with the both of them smashed into it, separating. With Jiraiya, before Konan and Naruto's battle, it has been hours since he has heard from Naruto, as he just finished speaking to his hidden ray in contact. As he was going to search, he then started to hear things crashing and people panicking around him. As Jiraiya saw the skyscraper, it was at least a 15th floor or higher, the thing was wrecked. Suddenly a massive fireball emerged as a golden, red figure burst from one of the floor, as he jumped on the person that was flying and started to bring her down, or him. But her, said Jiraiya. As he saw paper coming from her body, there was only one person he knew with that kind of power. Konan, is that you? The angel is fighting. Who would be crazy enough to call the wrath of God and the angel after what happened to Hanzo? It doesn't matter whoever that is, they won't be around long enough. Jiraiya gritted his teeth, damn it kid, as he dashed towards where they fall. The Akatsuki always operate in twos, and while he was taking on her, the next one could attack him in time. I swear this Akatsuki thing is either going to kill him or me, I swear. You are right about that, Jiraiya sensei, said a voice. Jiraiya was shocked as he looked up to see a man standing on a pillar. He had his hair tied up in a ponytail, with a number of piercings across his face, as he had on the Akatsuki cloak, and he also had the ripple pattern eyes. You changed a lot, but those eyes. So you're a pain, aren't you? Nagato, said Jiraiya. The man did not respond. I guess you did not grow up the way I wish you would. What happened to you? Pain narrowed his eyes. You don't need to know, after all. You're just an outsider in my village. Jiraiya shook his head. You've changed, Nagato. Pain went through hand signs for the better. Summoning Jutsu. A large crab appeared. Water style violent bubble wave. The crab fired off a large stream of bubble, just like the jutsu name, making Jiraiya jump away. Who do you think you're dealing with, Jiraiya, as he went through hand sign, while lion main jutsu is here extended and grew into a lion's mouth that engulfed the thing. As Jiraiya here then extended, as Pain dodged the first attack but he got caught up in Jiraiya's hair. Nagato, there are so many things I want to ask you, like what happened to Yaiko? I know Konan is fighting Naruto right now. Yaiko? I do remember someone by that name, but he's been dead for a long time now. Jiraiya almost cringed at his tone. What happened to you and Konan? Nothing happened, Sensei. This is just another fight. Too many people have died here and their pain is what helped me grow up. Even the most inexperienced, innocent child would grow up eventually when they learn what true pain is. It affects what they say, what they think, and it made them become real people. You think abandoning the love for your friends is the right way to grow up, asked Jiraiya. Sensei, you're still just a normal person. You can't see what I am seeing, because I have already transcended. I have transcended beyond a normal regular human being. I am a god now, and I don't need to explain myself to you or tell you anything. I can't believe Jiraiya said that you're the same child I met all those years ago. Things I couldn't comprehend as a human are crystal clear now that I am a god. And now, I can do things that I could never do as a human. What are you trying to do here, asked Jiraiya. I am going to put an end to this pathetic world and its wars. It will be an act of God. Jiraiya needs to know more. Why are you going after the Bijus? What do you want with Naruto? I sense you're going to die, I can tell you. And Konan will have the Kyuubi soon in our possession. Using all the Bijus, I will create a new forbidden jutsu. A technique that will eradicate an entire country in less of a second. The ultimate technique, a weapon, with unprecedented power and scale. Yes, Naruto was right, Jiraiya thought. S-rank power, S-rank ego, S-rank insanity. How could you think something like that would stop war? You will just make them bigger that way. That's the most stupidest plan I've ever heard in my entire life. As Pain shook his head, when another country quarreled with one, the quickest way to end a dispute. What is it, Sensei? Answer the question. What kind of stupid plan is that, Jiraiya asks? I will give my weapons to the warring nations. People who have weapons will eventually use them. Yes, it will be used, but it will solve nothing. Whatever was left, they would work on something bigger, and then they will use that in revenge. Hundreds of millions of people will die because of your idiotic plan. It doesn't matter, Sensei. All the people of the world will know what true pain is. My technique will bring fear and be the ultimate deterrent. The wars will cease quickly. Pain will quicken the world growth as it did mine. Our world is still innocent right now, but the hand of God has come down to guide it to maturity. You want to help the world destroy itself to grow up faster? You think that is your responsibility? I do, Pain said. I am a god of peace after all. Jiraiya shook his head. You've turned into quite the comedian, Nagato. Pain switched himself after his explanation. Over here, Sensei. To me, you're an insignificant child, and your growth was stunted, Sensei. Another summon? As Jiraiya saw Pain standing on top of Chameleon. I must say, hearing a kid like you telling me and the world that we need to grow up. If Naruto was here, you'd be laughing his ass off right now. You say you're God, but I'm no longer a human either. As Jiraiya went through Hansa and slammed his hand down as a big poof of smoke. Flooded by anger, I cried tears of blood. The lone hermit of legendary Sannin. The unstoppable Toad Sage of Mount Miyaboku, Jiraiya said. The great Jiraiya. The thing that he was standing on moved as Jiraiya fell face down. You really haven't grown up, have you? Pain said. Tamikamiki-san, don't move in all over the place when I get my post on, said Jiraiya. As there was another massive toad with a Sazuma and a shield in his hand. Whatever, I'll have to get serious from the start here. I'll have to use Sage move for this one. What? You serious? The Toad asks. Yeah, I'm gonna need your help. I'm summoning 2 Great Sage Toads. Can you help me out? You got it. I'm pretty weak, but I'll help you out. I'll try my best. Jiraiya rolled his eyes. Again with your weak crap, he said. Meanwhile, with Naruto and Konan. We got a mission to infiltrate the Hidden Rain, kid. You should be in with your element. You might even meet a cute little girl there. Yeah, you stupid perverted Toad Sage. I met a lady, but she's kicking my ass. As Naruto stood up and saw Konan fly out of the water. That really hurt, said Konan. Bitch, that's why I did it, said Naruto. You dropped me out of the air 150 feet. That would have hurt. Pain saw me know that Jiraiya is here. You have no hope of him bailing you out or saving you. Jiraiya Sensei will not come for you. Who said I need him to save me? Wait, what did you just say? Did you say Jiraiya Sensei? Yes, he was our sensei a long time ago. Did he not tell you? What? All I know that he trained Minato Namikaze and that was before me. That was after he trained us. We were trained. During the Second Great Ninja War. A long time before you were born. Whoa. So that makes you like 40 or something. You know, you're really hot for someone being 40. As he looked at her, wondering what she looked like under that axi cloak. If we weren't fighting right now, I'd probably be hitting on you. Age doesn't mean anything to a demon or a ninja kid, said Kyuubi. As Naruto could feel the killing intent coming from Konan. So, how did he train you? Her temper died down a bit. We were war orphans. The Hidden Rain was constantly used as a large battlefield for the other nations, and our families were taken from us because of that. Jiraiya Sensei taught us ninja arts for us to get a chance to live and survive. Me, Nagato, and Yaiko. We wanted to bring peace to the Hidden Rain, but Hanzo and Danzo. Wait. What about Danzo Jiji? Naruto asks. Hanzo allied with him and his route. Destroy our peace. that we wanted to bring to the rain. He killed Yaiko, but nah, Pain killed them all and saved me, she said. And there it was. That's why Danzo hated Hanzo. Why he always tell me to stay out of the rain, Naruto thought. Bringing peace to the rain would have taken away a buffer, as ninjas would try to pass right through it to get to Konoha at war times. And they wouldn't, because Hanzo and this group would be working together. But what was done, and he was facing off against a problem now. Pain will bring peace to the world. You are a vital point to that peace, as well as a thorn in the peace side. You won't be any more after this. Dance of Shikimai, she said, as she sent a rush of papers that started to cover Naruto's body. His chakra cloak tried to fight them off, but then they surrounded him completely. Now you will remain there until you pass out from lack of oxygen. This is all over. Wind release, vacuum spear, as the paper inhaled, as they burst out with wind bullets, as Naruto got out of it. With a sunshin. Thank you, Danzo, he said. The only damn jutsu I could use from your training. Konan heard him thank Danzo. You would thank that monster, she said, as she launched a stream of endless paper at Naruto. The power of her paper hit him dead on and pushed him back into the water. You're root too, right? I was told that you feel no emotion, no pain. Let's see about that, she said. Naruto exploded from the water, 2 tails behind him. Oh, don't worry, I feel pain and emotion. He didn't broke me like the rest. He then noticed that some of the paper that stuck to his body were glowing. Explosive tags. He flared his chakra as they got off his body just in time for them to explode. Konan saw the fireball as he was thrown back into the water roughly. No matter how strong or fast you are in that form, no one can outrun an explosion. The water bubbled for a moment. In a split second, a large red claw came out and grabbed Konan. She saw the paper that she coated her body with start to get burned from the intensity of the chakra as Naruto emerged with 3 tails behind him. He whipped her body about violently before throwing her as hard as he can with his chakra claw. But she was able to fly herself out of harm's way by mustering more wings. He's a very powerful ninja. Even without the Kyuubi, but with it, his strength is overwhelming. I need to play this right. I won't be able to overpower him or outlast him the way he is. I just have to hold out long enough for my plan to work, she thought. Kid, you know that you're not anywhere near Konoha. There's one thing you haven't tried yet. How many tails can you use the Kyuubi axe? I can barely reach 4, you know that, said Naruto, as he saw Konan took off through the village. She's handling 3 pretty well so far and I can't grab her anymore. And if I lose control at 4, she can just pick me apart. But I will end up burning this place down to the ground. 4 tails, huh? The last time you used what I have in mind, you only had 2 at your disposal. You will be twice well off now once you activate it, the Kyuubi said, with an explosive grin on his face. That just spelled destruction. Naruto used his tails to swing himself across the skyscrapers. You're telling me to use a trigger, aren't you? The last time I did that, I cracked almost every bone in my body. You're an idiot. This time just don't turn it off until you kill that woman and her partner. Until you can be protected by Jiraiya. It's that simple. Once you activate it, she won't last long. You know this. As Naruto climbed up on top of a skyscraper, he saw Konan. As Naruto stood there, just keep flying around. I got nothing but time, bitch, he said, as his red eyes focused on her as he focused on drawing his power out. Meanwhile, you can go now, said Jiraiya, as the toad was pretty beat up. Be careful, Jiraiya-san, he said, as the toad poofed away. It was then a massive ox rushed right into Jiraiya, knocking him into a wall. But then a great force sent the ox sailing away as the thing crashed violently with a poof. Why do you always summon us in place like this? No wonder Yamabunta is always angry at you, an elderly female voice said. Aw, don't say that, ma. Jiraiya-san was forced to do this, said the elderly male voice. Sorry for summoning the both of you here. But brat, didn't you always see this form of yours chase away all the girls? That is why you hate using it, said Ma. Well, there's no choice now but for me to just deal with it. I am fighting our opponent with a running gun after all. So let's go. As he stepped out of the hole with 2 toads on his shoulder, his Sage Mode activated. Moments later, the rain and long stayed stopped, as Naruto was sitting on the roof, as Konan was flying all about. At first, she tried minor attacks, but Naruto 3 tail just protect him, as he was focusing wind chakra at the end of his tail and shoot it after her to wear her out. What is he doing, she wondered, as she watched him. The Kyuubi is supposed to be a being of pure malice and anger. There should be no way he can hold back so much, and not blatantly lose himself. But he's just sitting there waiting. What's going on? He's up to something. How do you feel, kid? Kyuubi asked, as he was forcing more chakra through Naruto's system. So when Naruto went into 4 tail, he does not blow everything to hell. Good and piss. And do not give me that shit about how it's supposed to feel like that. Just remember to give that bitch hell. I'm not gonna have you get taken down, you're my container after all, by some bitch that simply threw paper. And I still have to eat you and gain my freedom. I'd rather not be pulled out of your body, just to use for something else. Papers rose everywhere around Naruto, so much that it was blocking the sight of Konan. Mixed in with normal papers were clearly a lot of explosive notes. Let's see if you're really as powerful as your bitch will make you out to be, she said, as she surrounded him in a dome. The papers swirled all around him, edging ever close. Naruto raised his head as he roared, blowing away all the papers, the massive shock wave, all over the skies. Konan looked about as they flew all about, as many of them stuck to other buildings nearby. She gasped in horror because she activated the explosive notes when she sent them a minute ago. In a matter of seconds, the explosive went off, sending massive debris falling down to the civilians below. Konan looked down, as her wings were then blasted by another wind ball from Naruto, as she collapsed on a building hard. She stood up as she heard the people down below, as the others tried to evacuate them. She glared over at him as he glared back at her, as she clenched her fist and shouted at him, "This is what we're trying to prevent. This senseless destruction, can't you see that? Once we take the Kyuubi from you and the other Jinchurikis, we can guide the world to peace by showing them the futility of war. The entire reason for me getting the Kyuubi was to protect Konoha. Why the hell would I give it to you, who would use it for more destruction?" Konan noticed his voice was getting more demonic and dark. "You are a seed of war," she said. "You were born with the intent of being placed with a demon. You are simply for destruction. You do not understand. You do not understand what is our true goal here." "You're right, I don't understand you, you stupid bitch. Having a group like Akatsuki pointing weapons that can destroy entire nations everywhere, that isn't peace, you dumbass. It is no different from the way things are now. It's not real. Then we will make them understand that the only peace and it will work is by altering and understanding Pain Sama." Naruto's skin started to literally peel away. As Konan smirked, a berserk Jinchuriki is easier to bring down than one who's trying to fight like a shinobi. He has fallen right into the first step of my trap. As Naruto then roared, everyone down below were dropped to their knees by the impressive aura that washed over their body, seemed to be crushing them. As Naruto inhaled, as Naruto then started screaming pain, "I hate doing this," he said. What is he doing? She didn't remember Zetsu's report on his battle with Orochimaru underling all those years ago. No, as she quickly flew at him as she saw his body changing. But before she could reach him, she was thrown back violently by a force of chakra that destroyed the building completely that he was standing on. As Konan watched, as he jumped on the other side, he was bigger, just as big as, or even bigger than Jiraiya. Red fur had grown all over his body, as his head was of a fox with red glowing eyes. He had long claws, longer than when he was in his Jinchuriki cloak, as 4 tails were behind them with fur. As the 4 tails danced behind him, swishing around. Gaara never had to tear his body apart, use his best Jinchuriki powers. Yuji-chan never had to do it either. But I guess the best things can never be straightforward and simple. "Hey," he said. "Sorry to keep you waiting. You must have been bored." As Konan got up, as she heard about this transformation from Zetsu, she has to be ready for anything. "So you got full control over your Biju. That's impressive," she said. "I've only heard about this from 2 other Jinchurikis. She think this is full control? Is this bitch blind? Can't she count the tails?" As they really were lacking information on him, seeing that Zetsu saw when Naruto used that massive power, but he had to fled because he would be blown to pieces, and hearing about Sasori's defeat, and now Kakatsu and Hidan. Naruto looked at Konan. "You're waiting for something," he said. "So you finally get it," she said, as she looked at him. "The moment you stepped in here, we already knew that you were here. Pain, control the entire village. Right now, preparations are being made to restrict your demon influence and your power. You cannot fight the entire village, so give up." Naruto started to laugh rather demonically, as Naruto smirked at her. "So, you think your army can stop me? You know what? I have an idea. You want all the Bichus to use their power, right? So, how would you people feel if someone unleashed that power in your home?" "Well, let's find out," Naruto said. As Naruto leaped off the building, Konan's eyes narrowed as she flew down, as Naruto dropped with a boom. Countless of rain ninjas were all around. as a man cried out, "Capture Jinchuriki alive for Pete-sama!" So, this is what you wanted the Jinchuriki for, right? Let's see how much of this can you take. And let's see if your god can save your ninjas from me. As Naruto leaped forward and dropped like a bomb right in the crowd, as his claws extended wild. But guys, be any subscribe right here. If you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. And remember, go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. And enjoy that, guys, and enjoy. And he also posted a new episode of What If Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning, so go ahead and enjoy it as well, guys. And yeah, that's it for tonight. I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace. Well, tomorrow.